All right. Peace, power, and black love is always in greeting. And welcome to another big picture. Thank you for my subscribers, my new subscribers. I'm almost at my mark. Um, I think I need about 12 more subscribers. So share the content. Tell a friend. Smash the thumbs up. Y'all know what I'm here for. It's no secret. I've told you, most of y'all know who I am by now. Just wanted to get on here. I couldn't help but, like everybody else, see the ignorance on display in the White House. And then this jackass has the audacity to say at the end of it all, well, this is going to make some good TV. He's Donald, y'all's president, is really a piece of work. And what you saw in finally getting to hear JD Vance say something, but I covered white arrogance and white pride in a few videos back. I think I did two actually. And they want to be praised. Several times during that, I don't even know if you would call it a conversation, but several times during that scenario that was played out today, you kept hearing Donald Trump saying you should be thankful. Then you hear JD Vance, you should be thanking this administration, and you should be thanking Donald Trump, and you're still this. And you know what? It hit me. I said, now, these no good mofos want to pressure him into thanking them when these no good mofos ain't never apologized for what they done. They ain't never said they sorry for what they done. They ain't never thanked us for building this ratchet ass America. But sit there today and have the audacity to want this man to kiss the ring. White arrogance on full display. The epitome of white manhood was on display. And all he was talking about the weapons. If we hadn't gave you the weapons. I've said this several times. Without they weapons, they ain't shit. And it's funny sitting there watching a dummy trying to call somebody else a dummy. See, and that's what makes him so unfit to be a president. He's ignorant. Period. It ain't no other word for it. He's a miscreant. Him and all them ones that he putting up under him. If they wasn't sucking his ass, they wouldn't be a part of his cabinet. So he got people up under him now that he knows will do exactly what he says. And they know if they don't, they gone. The whole problem with America is on display right now. We seeing it through this administration, but it's been the problem with America for years. White arrogance, white pride, and that's what's gonna seal y'all's fate. Just listening to those two talk today as if they are worthy or as if they are gods. If it had not been for America, if it had not been for me sending you the javelins, he kept throwing that out there. Obama sent you sheets, I sent you javelins. Donald Trump is so self-centered, and this is what y'all wanted. I ain't have a dog in the fight. Either way it went for us, it wasn't going to be good. Even if the Indian broad had won, it wasn't going to be good for us. But you got these jackasses right now in Trump, Vance, and Muskrat that are showing you exactly why America has failed. And I've said this so many times, and we seeing it on display right now. White men are mainly concerned with power and control. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. It's going to be another civil war. But it ain't going to be the type of civil war that everybody's thinking. See, black folks is minding their business right now. But white folk always got to have that power. They always got to have control. And they have proven, not only to us, they have proven to the world that they're incapable of power. They abuse power, just like they did back in the 1600s, abused the power they had. How can anyone who behaves, how can anyone who still holds on to that mentality claim to be righteous, supreme? You ain't righteous. See, the God y'all worship been here, because our God kicked him out of heaven centuries and decades and eons ago. And if it is not plain and clear through the tyrannical government administration that's in there right now, I don't know what we're looking at. I don't know what it is we're seeing that would make us follow any candidate. I mean, what has any administration ever done for us? And today, February 28th, the day that we're supposed to be boycotting. And I've said this on all my platforms. I've been saying this for years. And it's nice to hear people talk about the effort. But one day ain't enough. And I've said this recently. Why not take the true new year, spring, and let's dedicate a whole year? See, and boycotting, like I've said before, is the most effortless, but effective thing that we can do. It takes no effort to not spend your money with them folks. And I understand the inconvenience, but you know what? We've always adjusted. we've always transformed into what we needed to be or had to be. That's just another one of our superpowers. And that's why we still here and ain't going nowhere. But we need to focus on a year. Let's start. We need to focus on a week, then 2, then 3, then 4. And as we venture forward in this boycott, because we can do it, and the easiest way to affect the capitalist system is to remove what feeds it. And our dollars feed it more than anybody else's dollars in this country. And that's sad, the way they do us. And we still continue to break bread with them. We still continue to spend our hard-earned dollars with them. So what I'm suggesting is, let's start it this February 28th. And let's gradually ease into it. And let's keep it going. Let's start patronizing our black businesses. See, the more money that we can save, the more black businesses we can build. And I've said this on a few occasions. When we start focusing on the things that we need, the things that we want, will just fall into our laps. And things that are of no relevance won't matter. This system won't matter. These races won't matter. Because we will be moving, like I've said in the past, we will be creating a current, a flow, a movement that will benefit us. And once we start reaping the benefits of our work, things will change dramatically in our communities. We give the black churches around $14 billion every Sunday in this country. Imagine if that money was being put into our communities. Imagine if the 1 point whatever trillion they say, and I've said this, I think it's more, and they don't want us to know how much more. But our dollars count too. And our dollars alone, like I say, are what maintains this country. So if we remove our, matter of fact, we would be the 9th largest nation with that size of an economy. With that economy, we'd be the 9th largest nation. Think about that. What that means is we could build a nation in a nation. And I've talked about the need for a reverse migration. And let's reoccupy the South. Let's have some states that we don't have to worry about the white supremacist element. Freedom ain't free. And see, we have got to be willing to make the ultimate sacrifice, because we might be sacrificed regardless of action or inaction. Because even in inaction, without your inaction, you can still become a victim of white supremacy. And I've said several times that if we don't start meeting racism head on, it can very well affect all of our lives. What you don't confront will eventually affect you. And we have got to take the time out to think, simply think, and think about what we can gain as opposed to what we're losing. So unity has got to be better than what we're going through at this present moment. I mean, just think. If we started using that money for ourselves and building black businesses, building black schools, building black hospitals, building black supermarkets, and every other type of business that you may find in any other community. We can do it. Do you know how many civilizations our ancestors built across this globe? There is not an ethnicity on this planet that has not been touched by black culture, that does not stem from black culture. And I just want us to love each other, unify with each other, work with one another, so that we can finally experience some true freedom. So we can just see what it smells like, what it tastes like, what it feels like, to be able to live your life free from paranoia, to be able to live your life free from threat of loss of life, to be able to walk down the street like a regular person and not be harassed, to be able to drive your car without being harassed, to be able to sit in an establishment without being harassed. And if you are not paying attention, I've said this, they want us back in chains. And if you look at what this jackass in chief is doing, he's trying to rewind the clock. He's trying to go backwards, and I've said this, I think, right here. So who cares about affirmative action? You know, they took affirmative action during Biden and Harris's tenure. So what? Affirmative action didn't benefit us. Affirmative action and the DEI initiative, anything they deem for us is going to benefit minorities. And be careful of that word, because see, minorities groups us all together, underserved people. See, DEI benefited white women more. They were at the top of the totem pole. Benefited us the least. So, I mean, when are we going to say enough is enough and recognize, like I always say, that we don't need them? They need us. Always have and always will. They always talking about go back to Africa. But if we were all to pack up and leave and go back to Africa, this country would be, I give it a 30 days before implosion. Because see, then they wouldn't have nobody to go at but themselves. And just read about Roman history and all that European history. All they did was fought with each other. That's all they did. That's that thirst that I was talking about. That bloodthirst that they have. So you know, I'm not really I'm not really surprised at what Trump did today, because a fool is gonna be a fool. And we all know that. And you know, they don't have any moral compass to judge anyone's actions. And this country should be the last country to say anything about what's wrong with someone else's country. Like he tried to sit there and tell Zelensky, don't tell them what they're gonna suffer or whatever. They're gonna suffer. And I covered it in one, couple of my videos back. Because yeah, they gotta pay. And that right there, what was seen today was a prime example of why they're going to pay. Because they don't feel any type of remorse, compassion, empathy if it ain't them going through it. And right now, like, I'm still in deep prayer and meditation that the Most High expedites their retribution. And I'm not going to change my mind about that. And they're already suffering, but they too arrogant to see it. And it could be fixed, but they too arrogant to fix it, too prideful to fix it. And then fixing it would be an admission to the wrongdoing. And that's something that they're not able to do, is take accountability for their actions. And that jackass will say Zelensky was wrong. But who was wrong? I mean, everybody saw how those two colonizers was talking to Zelensky. And not that I really give a darn about Zelensky them either, because Ukrainians ain't got no love for black folks either. And that's why Biden was letting them in. Don't believe me, do some research. So I say we need to stay on us. I've been saying this for the last few months. It's time for us to focus on us. Stop being ashamed. Don't let nobody make you feel ashamed. And let's start taking care of each other. Let's start uplifting each other. Let's start working together, building together, growing together, surviving together. And like I say, start living in peace and stop waiting to rest in it. And boycotting, I've spoke on it. The black print was laid in Montgomery, 381 days, and that city on the 382nd day said, we can't take no more. Let them back on the buses. Let them sit where they want. They're going to bankrupt the city. People had already started losing their jobs behind it. And see, the reason why that worked is because everybody participated. They walked, they carpooled, they did whatever they had to do, but they stayed off them buses. And we can do the same thing. History is repeating itself in everybody except us. And we should be building. And we should have communities like our ancestors were building. And we should have those communities and cities right now. And none of us are even thinking in that mindset. We need each other. I ain't forget, I'm gonna throw it in now. We need each other. We all we got. We all we need. But we gotta start using us to our benefit. Stop letting everybody else use us to theirs. It's just that simple. Boycotts work. Boycotts affect the capitalist bottom line, which is that dollar bill. That is how you kill racism, white supremacy. And that's all I got. I just wanted to jump on and give my take on them two white boys in the Oval Office trying to make another white boy feel bad for asking for help, But it is what it is, and that's they fight. That's they battle. And we need to just stay out of that and start doing what we need to do so that we can prosper properly. And I love y'all. That's why I try to connect. I'm almost at live status. I'll be so ready to get there so I can start connecting with maybe more. Because it don't matter where you at, it's what you want, where you going. And right now it is a momentum that I say is in our favor. And right now it's time to be building. So with that being said, like I say, I love y'all. And like I always say in closing, let's plan, let's organize, let's unify. We all have a key right here and right here. I'm out. Peace, black power, and black love.